wewe enda uangalie Capuchin TV. Kuna mambo mazuri sana, kuna maombi, kuna watoto wanafanya mambo mazuri, kuna mafundisho, kuna misa takatifu kila siku. Kwa hivyo tafadhali ukipata nafasi utazame Capuchin TV. Jambo la pili, uwaombee kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo wanafanya. Manake ndio TV ya kipekee ya Catholic na mabishop wanaisupport kabisa, manake inafanya kazi mzuri. Kama leo, kama kuna watu wako Italy wangependa kuangalia what is happening leo, wangepata nafasi. Kwa hivyo muwaombee sana kwa hiyo kazi nzuri ambao wanafanya. Na jambo la tatu, muwasupport. Wewe wana Paybill number, watumie hata ni kama ni shilingi 2. Kwa hivyo tafadhali muwasupport, muwatumie kitu kidogo kwa Paybill number na mambo hayo ili waweze kuendelea na hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo asanteni Father kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo mnafanya.
Tuendelee kufanya kazi. Paybill number 51068. Account name capstv.
It is exactly 10 a.m. East African time. A very warm good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining this live special segment right here on Capuchin TV. We are coming to you live from our headquarters in CARITAS, Bogani Road. And since the old days, we've always had the rite of passage. There has been the right to birth, the right to transition from childhood to adulthood. We've also had a transition to marriage or religious life, to eldership, and finally to ancestorship. It is with this that we are bringing you this segment that it builds on what the discussion or conversation that happened last Thursday on rite of continuous initiation into adulthood. And the one who will be taking us through this conversation is none other than Reverend Father Gabriel Kinoti, OSB. And before we get on to the questions, there is something that we need to know about this continuous. Why continuous? Doesn't it have a climax or the end where we get to understand that at this point, this is the end of this first initiation? But before that, we also welcome you, so feel free to weigh in on the conversation on 0717-424-866. Remember, we are live on our social media platforms concurrently, YouTube and Facebook, so you can drop your questions and comments in this regard, and we'll get Father Kinoti to respond. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, madam.
It's good to have you in studio.
To be here.
Thank you for creating time to talk to us about this.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there something else that you do besides ministering as a priest?
Yeah, I also am a teacher. Mm-hmm. A priest is always a teacher of the parish work, and also for psychology, and also for meta in this rite of continuous formation program. Yeah.
All right. So right away, could you just tell us, rite of continuous? This is something that is in continuous or in motion. Why continuous?
Allow me to give a brief overview of why this formation is called, this program is called Continuous. Allow me to talk about the African systems of formation and also sustaining either behavior or also sustaining the cultural values. In African traditional societies, we believe in a family setup or a communal setup of value formation. For example, we had rites which were done, or behaviors which were supposed to be for the children, for the youths, for the elders, for the warriors, and also for the young adults, and that's for even those who are dying, even those who are dead, they want their own rights. Yeah. So if you wanted to know why a certain aspect is happening the same way, you are supposed to ask an age-set system. You need to understand that without an age-set system, you can never sustain a behavior. And this is actually some of the African values which are getting that, so that we say from childhood, one learns how to be a child. And when somebody comes to the teenage age, he learns how to be a teenager. And when he comes to a young adult, he learns how and engrows into this. It's good also to know, even in the biblical tradition, we believe in pre-formation, that when Jeremiah was told by God, before I formed you, I knew you. And also we believe in formation. When a child is born, is formed how to talk, how to behave, how to teach, and how to take care of his or herself. That is formation. In fact, it's the primary law of a parent.
So in essence...
And from formation, we go to information. That's why you take our children and people go to school for information. And people now integrate to the church values, and we call it transformation. You can see how formation is going. Pre-formation, formation, information, and transformation. This is a process. That's why it's called of rite of continuous initiation to adulthood, because we believe that we need to sustain something for some time, and behavior, a set of values, so that we can say now it is now implanted in a certain aging group system. In this case, our teenagers.
Great, quite intriguing. Thank you very much for that profound and apt explanation. In essence, it is we transition from one phase to another as we continue throughout our lives. Great. So Father Kinoti is the founder and director of Benedictine Schools of Psycho-Spiritual and Social Formation, for those who might be catching this for the first time. And let's get to understand, Father, what is the purpose of the Rite of Continuous Initiation into Adulthood program?
The purpose of this program is to, first of all, to assess, to measure, and to direct psychological, spiritual, and social values in the young adults. That means the teenage age, which we usually take from 11 to 12, how to at least 19 years of age. So we stay with the children for 4 years. When they cross their schools, they come. We try to measure, we try to assess, we try to direct and behavior in both psychological, in both spiritual, and in both social matters. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Can you provide just a brief overview of the key elements and stages of this initiation program? Because we understand that we are in the modern days, we are living in the modern days, and things have been quite a little bit dynamic, because before we used to have traditional rites of passage, of which some of the communities in Kenya still practice that. What does the program that you run incorporate?
The program we run this continuous rite of initiation is actually a modern way of, is a contemporary way of trying to sustain what is happening in our social, psycho, and also spiritual world. Allow me to say this. It is I have been informed, or I've seen most of the people who do initiation program, allow me to say, is when we allow them to come, for example, for circumcision. I remember last week we had a conversation, what if there is a difference between initiation and circumcision. And then I see circumcision is a medical procedure. Anybody can go to any hospital for circumcision. But initiation is a whole process. It has cultural symbols, values, and also it is a process. And what now we are meant to believe is that initiation, you take, maybe if you have a boy child to some hospital, you go for circumcision, and then you have some people there to come and preach and motivate the children, and you say now initiation is over, which for me is an abuse of the word. Initiation in African tradition is just a process, the whole process, which makes somebody to grow in a value system. And the value system is measured in the NCBA system, which we are talking about having young, for example, young adults or school-going children or that kind of thing. So why is it special? Because we do, first of all, we approach it on a psychological perspective. We do the psychological test, and these tests, they are just normal, yeah? Or that's observation, like interviewing and writing. That way, we can know what is in the child, which can be enhanced, which can be controlled, which can be directed. For example, if you bring us, the children, the time for initiation, first of all, we ask the parents, those who are not to be circumcised, we call the medics to do that. But we say, for us, what we want to bring us the children. That's why even a number, in fact, the greatest number of the people who are in this program, they are girls. Yeah. And for the girls, what you do, we bring them. First of all, we start from what we say psycho-spiritual assessment. Allow me, I'll just say what we test.
What does it entail?
What it entails. First of all, in psychological assessment, we try to ask the children to know how they know the social world surrounding them. We try to teach or direct them in peer pressure, in self-knowledge, self-esteem, on confidence, and also emotional challenges. This is what we want just to see where they are and where they want to be. Most of them, they are usually psychologically or so say emotionally mature. But when we stay with them, for example, in the 12th, 13th, 14th, in the 16th year, next year, when you come with them, you'll just see a different person. It's very interesting when you see psychologically, when a child grows to a certain values of psychology. The way you can know the child is, for example, is stressed, whether he has been influenced in another peer group, which is not very good. Also, when you come to social approaches, you don't usually do a lot of interviews. We do a lot of writings. For the children, you need to be very careful when you do any kind of test, like writing. You just ask them, for example, I want to share with me some of your friends. Maybe the child was in Form 2. And then then he says, I have a friend called Ike. Then he would say, now, share with me about this friend. We want to know whether this person is integrating in another set of friends who influences him or her in another negative way. You'll know when you talk about that friend. You say, we can also use some of the tests we usually do as psychologists, that you can give somebody, for example, some pictures. Then say, just describe your friend using these pictures. You automatically know that the child is growing very well in a social setup in school. And then you try to sustain. Now we say, now I think you are very good friends, the way you are presenting. What do you think you can do to sustain that? And then the child shares. But you know the problem, which may be not really a problem, the challenge which you are having outside there. You get somebody like me who is doing initiation program for the children. I come to motivate. I come to, allow me to use the one preaching or possibly to tell the children how to behave, which is right. But at the end of the day, I don't know what they are thinking about certain aspect and what can be enhanced in this. So in social world, we measure about the friend's choice. We talk about drug abuse. We talk also about embodied changes, about the gender formation and also the gender direction of boys and girls. This is what we do in the social formation. When it comes to spiritual formation, it's very interesting. I remember we had last in April when we had these initiates come, we conducted a spiritual intelligence test, try to see how much our children are spiritual. But I'm telling you,
how did they perform? How was
the
the
performance
general
was
performance?
very poor. So very poor. So I was just concerned. For example, spiritual intelligence you measure on the tangible participation. You ask the children, when you come out of school or when you go to school, when you're at home, do you usually go to the church, whatever church you go? Because most of them, a number of them, they are not Catholic anyway. But you know, spirituality is not geared to a certain religion. It cuts across. How often do you participate in your tangible participation? For example, the Catholic, you ask the young ones, do you go for PMC? You try to, do you go for PMC? What do you do there? So this tangible participation can tell you whether the child has a spiritual values which are inculcated in that. And another one, you go for scriptural participation. You ask a child, do you usually read the Bible at your home? A number of them will tell you, the Bible, I usually see it in church. You know, most of the young ones, they are very free. I see it in church. Or somebody can say, I read, but when you say you read, they think maybe it's an exam, because for most, spirituality is about, it's a way of life. It's not knowledge. It is an action of the way you want to handle yourself. Yeah. So for scriptural participation, we can not only measure, we can assist them. Make sure you read, make sure you can listen to the Bible, to the Word of God, not only in the family or in the church, especially in their group system. Another way you measure the spiritual values is if they have a church group system which assists them. Church group system is like the PMCs, for us Catholic, allow me to use that word. Those who maybe they like singing or dancing. Do you dance in the church? What do you do in the church? You'll just say in the middle of some people clapping hands and then you just go away. So these are ways that you can measure the spiritual growth of our children. And then, because the measurement might be a bit challenging, for example, those who are down in the spiritual intelligence test, you try now to assist them through the parents, because you need to bring in the parents. It seemingly you don't have any liturgical spiritual group participation for your children. What can you do? And then you discuss from there. And then give yourself assignment. When you are meeting again, when you cross like this December, we have a file, because we have a very big file where we usually have a observation from every child. So if you are given an assignment, we'll access it in December. We talked of liturgical participation. Have you started going to church? And then the child, you can if you are starting day, that we give ourselves a mark.
That's like a follow-up?
Exactly like a follow-up.
Oh, follow-up.
Yeah.
All right, now, I wish to understand the demographic composition of the initiates. Are they, is it just limited to specific participants from specific age groups, cultural orientation, ethnic orientation, or what is? Please share with us the demographic constitution.
Yeah, the demographics we have. We don't usually take the very young ones. We start at least, if you take the least age is about 11 to 12 years. But the ideal age is 13, 14 years. And then we stay with them at least for 4 years. After for 4 years, we started with the class Fidelity class in 2018. These ones now, they are encouraged. They are just kind of 19 years now, 19, 20 years. Yeah? So this is the age which we usually want to stay with the children, to grow with them and to learn from them. And also culturally, and allow me, sometimes it's very challenging to me when I handle this, because you can see the cultural influence in initiation. I must say, in Kenya we have so many cultures. Absolutely. And most of the people would challenge, we are talking of African culture. Which culture? I'm from this culture, we have this community. But culture is a value system. It's not, for example, when you come with the symbols we use here, it's a value system, and this is what we extract.
And quite a complex one and unique in different contexts.
Yeah, so the value system is what you scoop from that and you try to apply from the contemporary society. And I'm telling you, we have a problem, because most of the test which we are doing, for example, when I talk about observation, interview, writing, in you come, these are Western ways of testing behavior or living behavior. But you know the Africans one. The African ones, I can say to you, can bring a thing of like storytelling. So try to see what this cultural or this culture believe. But what is interesting to me is that, I don't want to say which culture, that most of the people, they believe that children are initiated, but they confuse with the circumcision. And the demographics of the group which we have, they are concentrated in some communities. But I must also say that some other communities, and I want to say the name of the communities, others are not there because they will say, you'll ask somebody, say, for me, initiation, I will take my boy to the village, and he will be circumcised there, and he will be taught by old people. And then after being taught by old people, he is brought back to Nairobi, and then he sees the contemporary challenges, and the old people in the village, and the boy or the girl is in another college and those kind of things. So there is usually a disconnect. And I'm sure if our people would know that these days we really need to rely so much on specialists on behavior so that we can try to sustain what is good in our children. It's good when they hear what happens there in the village, they are circumcised. Because I always tell them, if you want to circumcise, go and circumcise the boy there, teach them whatever you want to teach, but please bring them for these classes. And most of the people, they have realized, some of even have ended up telling me, you know, Father, I want to bring my child is from 2 or from 3, so that they can join in this continuous class of formation, and it has worked.
Great. Thank you very much for that, Father Kinoti. Now, everything sprouts and has a purpose. Before you start anything, you have to establish the gap. Could you please share with us the spiritual and cultural traditions that fueled or inspired the rite of continuous initiation into adulthood?
Yeah, some of the cultural values which made us think of this program is that the African formation or the ways of formation was not an event, but it was a process. But most of us, when we do this initiation, we feature on teaching, but not on formation. You know, there's a difference between formation and teaching. There's a difference between information and formation. And you know, in a value system, it has to be formed to somebody, not informed. You take children to school more so to be informed, not to be formed. Formation might be kind of automatic. For example, the social grouping system is a kind of system to grow, but you know the first stage or the work of a school is information teaching, whatever the syllabus, whatever it is. But formation is more of the parents, it's more of the society. And this is what, for us, especially in African setup, we believe in. The society has almost everything to assist the people to grow in a certain value, in a certain cultural mentality, and living their belief system. So it is knowledge of that a continuous process should be done, that we have come up with this program so that all the people who come in, they can know that we can grow, we can live, and also we can profess our cultural values in this continuous rite of initiation. So
as you initiate them, you also conserve some of the positive cultural practices that are inherent in the specific communities where the initiates hail from?
Yes. For example, there is some of the two symbols we usually use. We use cultural symbols like first of all, a spear. We usually have African spear. African spear we usually use this to say it is a way of guarding. In African spear, it was not used for fighting, but it was a sign of authority. And it's only elders who were supposed to carry spears. The young ones were supposed to carry arrows because they are going to fight. But now bringing it to the contemporary world, we usually hold the spear for the young boys and tell them, now if you hold this spear, you must be in charge of yourself. It's not your mom now to tell you go and spread your bed or go and take care of yourself. At this age of 12, 13 years, you need now to do it yourself. We do some things like, for example, when the boys are brought for this program, most of them, you do a kind of a sample. You ask a child, please let's go and see what your mom brought in your box. Tell me what is in the box. I can tell you a number of them, they don't know what's in the box. So we just open the box, and then we tell the child, just please pour out everything and make sure you rearrange everything in the box. We want to tell them from today, it's not your mom to do your box. He can tell you what to put in, but it needs to be there so that you can do your box. And then you call the parents. And the parents, some of them come complaining that we don't know whether that thing was in the box because the child misplaced. It's not the child who misplaced, it's you, because you are the one who plans what to put in the box of the child.
Exactly.
And then the child goes to school, unasikia anasema my pen is not there, my cloth is not there, but you didn't put anything there. You are just giving a box and you are doing everything is there. This one is very wrong way of formation. So we tell them now, arrange your box, and we tell them from now going forward, your mom can at least inspect what is in the box to assist you, but make sure you're in charge of your These are normal things, and they're the things which makes a child to know, now I am in charge, I wanted a spear, I can tell my mom now, I will be doing my bed, I will take care of myself, and please, I will not stress you, I can be in charge of myself. For the girls, we usually use a basket. A basket is used to contain something and to put maybe food or something. African basket, to show that you need to contain what is good in you. That kuhifadhi is there. We use the basket for the girls. So when they are finishing or when they are entering this rite, they need to hold a basket. And also, on the other hand, they hold the Bible. I think we'll demonstrate next time.
Yeah.
And then these are cultural symbols to tell them now, with these symbols, you are entering another stage of your life.
That's quite interesting, and we will be here waiting to see in our subsequent conversations how they demonstrate these traditional artifacts that they use to signify transition. I've observed during Episcopal ordinations that on Thanksgiving Mass, the bishop is given that the bow, and the spear. So it's like he's being initiated. It's the elders of the church who come and welcome the bishop now into the baraza of the elders. It's quite an interesting one. Teresia and Jerry says, following from Kagwe Parish. Thank you, Teresia. Regina from Kikuyu, say hi to Father Kinoti. Nice discussion. We really appreciate and have hope that you will bring up upright children. Greetings received.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Keep your feedback coming if you have any questions that revolve around the rite of continuous initiation into adulthood, and we will sample them as and when the time allows. Now, Father, we live in a world where people are very conscious on the benefits of anything that they embrace. So they would ask or question, what is the value? What do I stand to benefit by accepting this or taking my child for this program? So what are the benefits of participating in this program, both personally and at community level?
I want to say the greatest value which can come out of this is, first of all, is participatory formation. We know as Africans, we believe in all of us doing our work so that we can form and maintain a certain thinking, a certain behavior. So when a parent brings us the child for this formation, the thing it stands to benefit is to learn more from the program, because we assist these children, we grow with them. But what more is that we bring the children in, so that the parents in that. To sustain any behavior, we really need to handle the family. I hope next time we might talk about the family. But what is important is that when we assist the parents' information, the parents have, because sometimes it reaches a point we ask the parents, kindly, when you're bringing your child, write for me, at least I have a page, what you say about your child. the good things in that child. So we assist the parents to sustain the good things in the child. In case there is a misbehavior or a certain challenge, especially these days, there are a lot of drug abuse, especially in schools. These 14, 15, 16 years of age, they want to experiment anything. The child the parents, when he realizes this kind of thing, he can first of all talk to the child and then ask for permission. And when he is in this group, we have a variety of counselors to try to talk to them and also to try to measure if they have gone in this kind of group system, which puts them in this drug abuse or any other misbehavior. So we assist the parents to correct, especially if there is a challenging behavior in the child. And not only to correct, but to maintain. Because this is what most of the people would say, my child does not need counseling, there's no problem. I say this program is not about maintaining or possibly solving problems. It's maintaining what is good, because I am from the school of thought that most of the children, they have very good values in them, but they need to be handled very well so that they can sustain when they reach from 20, 21, those kind of years. I can tell you always they know, even when they go away, they know where to come back from because they have grown in it. Yeah.
They know how to retrace their foot back to the right path.
Yeah.
Great. Now, we are, as I mentioned before, living in a very changing world, especially globalization, digitization, or development of new technologies. How does the program adapt to the changing needs and expectations of young adults as they progress through various stages of life?
Yeah, this is a topic which most of the, especially from the parental point of view, we don't really have a lot of ways of knowing how to handle it. Allow me to say, from the social, from the print, and also from the broadcasting media, most of the children, they are there. There is this kind of, I would say, kind of a challenge which is happening in most of the youth. The other day we have a little college where in the parish there, and there are some young people, they were doing some computer courses before they went to the university. So I was driving there, and I almost, one of the young one was almost eating my car. Imagine the car is moving, is almost motionless, but you see somebody is on front of the car. He has put the earphones and is so much singing some music. I believe from the from the phone. So I tried to hold and say, oh, so I was in the road, and then it just goes outside the road, and then he continues with this music. Then I tried to talk to them. I said, unless we are very careful, we'll have a generation which can never have attention, which can develop what you say is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a disorder that you cannot concentrate on anything. You are there, you are even eating your food, your phone is there. In the family, everybody is in the social media.
So many distractions.
There are a lot of distraction. You cannot be attentive, and this says no innovation. I dare say there's not much innovation in the social and print media because it's the people who want you to consume a certain product. They put it in the social media, and you go to the TikTok and you see most of the TikTokers, somebody's TikToking somebody's song, and what you say is new. It's just the face of the person who is singing because the song is either old or maybe it's just interesting, and they want some people to see that it smells very good. But you see, there's completely no originality in the music. There's no originality in whatever somebody is doing. What is original is his face, and also is the people who are trending in that. But what more so is that you have asked, how do we handle this?
Yes.
The only thing is information on where and what we have. That is that's one of the best ways of addressing this. That when you come to the social media, you need to create time for everything. If it's time for learning, you say you go in the social sites where you want to learn, if you are a student. If you want to do some investigation on something, you know where to go. It is information and also self-drive and also self-regulation. This is how we try to inculcate this psychological behavior in the social world. So that, because there's nothing much we can do. You have a child there, in goes, for example, you see some have gone maybe to fund sites, maybe pornographic sites, and then you sit down with them. And then you ask them, what do you write in the social media? Have you watched pornography? In our psychological test writing, we will just and most of them they say, they will tell you,
they're honest.
yes, yeah, they're very honest. They're very honest. If you know, you will keep confidentiality, they will share with you and then say, let's talk about it. Now, what do you have a child at home? You see, if you have seen a young child, yes. When the child does not want clothes, what do? You put on clothes, or you start telling other people, come, you see, yes, no clothes. Say you put on, you don't do that. Then say, just I want to compare, you share with me. Do normal people watch to naked people? You want to drive a point to the world of this young one, that if you want to sustain a good behavior, you don't live in a society where people are happy looking at naked people. This is pornographic world. And then you know it is most of the people who do this, or who put this kind of sites. They are not usually very normal because they inject themselves maybe in steroids, and then they have maybe under some drugs, or they have some agendas to drive. But now when it comes to the social media and people say, oh, there is this kind of video I want to see. Somebody wants to drive something in the young or in the world of other people. So that's why you need to grow and assist other people to know which is the best way of handling this. If it fits them, then you say, just tell me how you look like by watching naked people for the whole night. Just draw yourself. Then you try to develop an idea that this one is challenging. As much as it is there, I will not go to it. Otherwise, you sometimes you tell even, you know, children are very, very cunning sometimes. Unamwambia, hiyo si mtaangalia nini unaangalia? Anachange line ama anaenda kwa rafiki yake anasema kuja tuone huko. And they start now doing their own things there. But if you try to grow with them, say, just tell me when you are hiding, what are you looking there? Just don't mind, it's just for us. Kuna kitu ilikuwa tumeona hapa, we are just tell me about it. What did you gain about it? What if you continue this? What do you think? And you think somebody, you challenge somebody, even though he's young, I think normal people, they don't do these things. So I think it's not important. I think what you have said is important. You have gone in the child world to try to understand him or her, develop an attitude or a behavior which is sustainable or which has values in the society and also in highest or herself. It's just called self-regulation. That's what we call it.
What a way to go about, instead of just admonishing or rebuking them bitterly, you just speak to them, converse to them, let them understand the values and the way between what is right and what is wrong. Now, I believe that this program, since it started, there are those who have completed the program. And we wish, the viewer would wish very much to hear about the success stories or experiences from such individuals. Could you please share with us maybe one or two?
I'll just say something very brief, but I believe in another show we'll come with them so that they can share by themselves. Because
that would be great.
I don't want to take their success to by my success, because no success sometimes can be relative, you know. Yeah, but I think what I want to say, the success is not only for them; it's actually for the parents. The parents are the people who have really appreciated, and most of the people who have brought this program, they are referrals from the parents. They say, I have my son in Form 3, but he really says that when they are called for this program, he's the one who asks, when are we going there again, so that we can talk, we can just express ourselves. So the parents, they get that success, because most of the time when we call them, we tell them confidentiality. If we see something challenging in your child, remember these ones are underage, we can talk to the parents. For example, we have a charity, I shouldn't say this because it's something which is outside there. We have some children who come from single parent families. And I remember, I think it was last year, we had a girl who came, and then after some time I said, just tell me the greatest thing which you have ever heard from your parent. Write about your mom, at least 2 sentences. When it's come to the dad, the dad is not there, it's from a single parent. You didn't say anything. So for us, as psychologists, if you don't say anything, for me, you say much, yeah? So I know there's something I want to dig here, and then I brought some projective things. Usually say psychology projective techniques. And I say, just describe, can draw there, what do you think your parents look like? Or just come with a set of photos. Just tell me, who is your mother? How is your dad? I see in the paper, it's nothing written here. But I cannot ask him directly, where is your dad? So the child started crying. Then I said, there's a problem. Then I say, I can see now you are not comfortable with this. This is the purpose of formation. You want this child to be stress-free or to live with what the child cannot change. Because now maybe the dad is not there, the mom is not there, or maybe the both parents are not there. You want the child to live in this reality, to come to that maturity that I know my dad does not take care of you myself, but I can also live with you comfortably. This is what you want to bring that. So then I tried to ask, what's the problem? Is it dad or mom? I said, my mom looks like this. He showed me some picture ya kulikuwa na picha ya mnyama hapo simba. Then I said, then now talk about mom. He said, I don't know why my mom told me this. Then it was interesting. I asked, we are informed too now. What did your mom tell you? So unfortunately, the mother, they disagreed with the dad when the child was young. And he wanted completely to forget about the dad. And now when the child went to Form 1, the dad, I think, was keeping an eye where the daughter had gone. So he went to some boarding school, and then the time when they were time for visiting, the dad, because I think he was so much close to you, like the girl so much, but now the mom had kept him away. So he brought the child, he went to see the child in school. And then the child, incidentally, the daughter looks so much like the dad. So when he was at the gate, he started asking and then the other girl stood, yeah, your dad is there, you can go, and he's calling you. So the girl was confused, my dad. I remember my mom told me he died and he's buried in Dangata because the girl became troublesome, this teenage age. And then the mom pulled the girl and went to Dangata. He says, buried here. I just forget the whole story. So, the girl was confused. And then he went wandering, and then he saw the girl, the father. Greeting the knee, the girl collapsed. So they had to try to revive and try to follow up what was happening. So the teacher sat now to ask, who is this man who has come to me and to call the father? Sorry, the mother. Later the mother was also on his way to see the same guy. So from there, the child, after coming up, they was talked to by the school counselors, and at least the dad was told not to come to see the girl again. But now that thing came in this program. So I tried to assist, say, why did mom kill my dad? Killing in the sense that alimwambia ayuko so that sorry ishe. For the mom, I had to call the dad, the mom, I say, there's a story, you need to talk with your girl because there's something which is not handing up here. So I had to call, and then we talk about the father. I say, wewe ni nini unakosa? Si nimekupeleka shule, hakuna kitu mtoto anakosa. Ndio nasema, my God. Unasema nini anakosa? Anakosa baba yake. That's the thing. You see, if there is any disagreement or something has happened in this, for example, this program, the parents tell us, as they say, different, the mom, the dad is absent. We try to assist the child or the parents to live with the reality of this, because some things are very real and the child should grow in that. So I'm just giving an example of a success story of this parent alisema hata nilikuwa nimeshindwa nitamfanyia nini, mara ananisumbua nionyeshe this kind of thing, ndio nikampeleka huko nikamwonyesha mtu amekufa ni achane. You really pity the child, the mom, the way he was struggling to keep this one and this little one. So this is a success story of a mom who did not know what to do with the child on this, and he thought it's not an issue, because the child girl is getting everything. If you want, the uncle can come. If you want the father figure, the uncle can come. And you know, fathers, uncles and they are not the dads.
They are not
the
the
dads,
father figure.
The
All right,
father,
some things that you make and decisions that you make just undermining their impact or the implications they have on children. Now, our time is almost up. It's quite an interesting conversation here, but of course it's a weekly conversation, and to be sure there are so many questions, quite an array of questions that our viewer are asking, and that we also needed to ask as their mouthpiece. But because of time, allow me to ask 2 questions, and then we'll respond to them briefly before we close the discussion. Number 1, how can someone get involved in or participate in the Rite of Continuous Initiation into Adulthood program?
Yeah, one can do by, first of all, coming to register, to consider that you want to bring the child to this. If the child is the ages of between 11 and 14 years, those who have finished the class 8, or this kind of age, you don't talk of classes because some are ahead of others. For the boys, this is the time most of them, they do the circumcision. We call them. Right now, we are calling them on 14th of September. We give them 3 days. We call the surgeon to do the circumcision, and then we talk to the parents. We tell them. From there, we start this process of initiating them. And then after 3 days, when they are well, we have another place where you have the girls' camp. We take the girls' camp and we start now teaching. I think another show we try to demonstrate what you do in the teachings, because it's this initiation. First of all, it's registering and then accepting to belong to the school. There are some of the parents, anyway, I remember this Kenyan style. People, they want one touch, anakuja anasema you can talk to him this, and then from there I'll come when I have a problem.
So does it mean, do the initiates board, or it's they can come and go back home, report on a daily basis?
For the first camp, they board, they stay with us at least for not less than 10 to 12 days. And from there, they create that kind of board of initiation class, and we give them a name. Like this year is called the Upendo Class 2023. We hand it to Maini, Resilience, Fidelity. We usually give it's an African way, because every age group has its name. So we tell, if you belong to Upendo Class, is this year. Is this year, and after that, when, for example, we do the new initiate this, we have a camp for the other people who are in year 2, year 3, and year 4. From 28th up to 8th of September. We will stay with them in a camp where they stay together. We'll be having boys' dormitory and also girls' dormitory. But we like sometimes when they have already initiated some programs to run them together. So we go for hiking, they go for discussion, we call for mentors, we call academicians, we call for people who have talent like footballers. So they know life is a variety of things. So we have a camp of those who are being initiated, and we also have a camp of the continuous classes, which are in Form 2, Form 3, and also Form 4.
Thank you very much, Father Kinoti. And at this point, my director says that our time is up. We started a little bit late due to unavoidable circumstances, but I wish to give Father just a few seconds to give a parting shot. Kindly include your contacts for anyone who wishes to get further direction or understanding of the prerequisite requirements for joining or contributing towards this program.
So my number is 0781 032247. 0781 032247. You can WhatsApp on that number if you want more direction on this program. The Safaricom number is 0703 806 sorry, 306-886. That's the Safaricom number. But also you can talk to the coordinator of this program, who is also very handy in this, is called Gregory. You can get him if you can not get me of one reason or the other, 0714-892413. That's the coordinator. But all the questions which you have sent on this program, we'll try to answer them in the subsequent shows. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Father Kinoti, Gabriel OSB, for this intriguing and interesting conversation. We really appreciate that, and we're looking forward for next Thursday. And of course, we'll push some of these questions there. And of course, upon recess of school, we'll get to speak to some of these initiates with their artifacts and just get to hear the story from the horse's mouth. So we appreciate what you are doing with the children out there.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Yes, thank you very much, dear viewer, for taking time to walk with us through this conversation on Capuchin TV. And I wish to appreciate those who have been working behind the scenes to bring to you this live discourse. And I had my camera people, Alan Andiva and Brian Mboji, on sound. We had Frederico Ching, visual mixing, Samuel Cherbora, and on transmission desk we had none other than Peter Mwangi, and the entire team who coordinated this. We really appreciate your concerted efforts. Now it's going to be a very long weekend, and allow me to take this early opportunity to wish you all a happy and blessed Mashujaa Day that will be marked tomorrow, Friday, 20th of October 2023. We appreciate you, our viewer, as our #1 loyal hero, and we appreciate our parents, our mothers and fathers, and everyone who has impacted to us. They are our heroes. So until next time, goodbye. My name is Sasha Elizabeth. See you next time when God wills. Thank you.
Na hii Capuchin TV ni chombo kizuri sana, na chombo hiki kazi yake ni evangelization. Kwa hivyo ningeomba mfanya mambo matatu. Jambo la kwanza, tafadhali wewe enda uangalie Capuchin TV. Kuna mambo mazuri sana, kuna maombi, kuna watoto wanafanya mambo mazuri, kuna mafundisho, kuna misa takatifu kila siku. Kwa hivyo tafadhali ukipata nafasi utazame Capuchin TV. Jambo la pili, waombee kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo wanafanya. Manake ndio TV ya kipekee ya Catholic, na mabishop wanaisupport kabisa, manake inafanya kazi mzuri. Kama leo, kama kuna watu wako Italy wangependa kuangalia what is happening leo, wangepata nafasi. Kwa hivyo muwaombee sana kwa hiyo kazi nzuri ambao wanafanya. Na jambo la tatu, muwasupport. Wewe wana Paybill number, watumie hata ni kama ni shilingi 2. Kwa hivyo tafadhali muwasupport, muwatumie kitu kidogo kwa Paybill number na mambo hayo, ili waweze kuendelea na hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo asanteni Father kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo mnafanya.
Tuendelee kufanya kazi. Paybill number 51068. Account name capstv.
Na hii Capuchin TV ni chombo kizuri sana, na chombo hiki kazi yake ni evangelization. Kwa hivyo ningeomba mfanya mambo matatu. Jambo la kwanza, tafadhali wewe enda uangalie Capuchin TV. Kuna mambo mazuri sana, kuna maombi, kuna watoto wanafanya mambo mazuri, kuna mafundisho, kuna misa takatifu kila siku. Kwa hivyo tafadhali ukipata nafasi utazame Capuchin TV. Jambo la pili, waombee kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo wanafanya. Manake ndio TV ya kipekee ya Catholic na mabishop wanaisupport kabisa, manake inafanya kazi mzuri. Kama leo, kama kuna watu wako Italy wangependa kuangalia what is happening leo, wangepata nafasi. Kwa hivyo muwaombee sana kwa hiyo kazi nzuri ambao wanafanya. Na jambo la tatu, muwasupport. Wewe wana paybill number, watumie hata ni kama ni shilingi 2. Kwa hivyo tafadhali muwasupport, muwatumie kitu kidogo kwa paybill number na mambo hayo, ili waweze kuendelea na hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo asanteni Father kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo mnafanya.
Tuendelee kufanya kazi. Paybill number 510678. Account name capstv.
Na hii Capuchin TV ni chombo kizuri sana, na chombo hiki kazi yake ni evangelization. Kwa hivyo ningeomba mfanye mambo matatu. Jambo la kwanza, tafadhali wewe enda uangalie Capuchin TV. Kuna mambo mazuri sana, kuna maombi, kuna watoto wanafanya mambo mazuri, kuna mafundisho, kuna misa takatifu kila siku. Kwa hivyo tafadhali ukipata nafasi utazame Capuchin TV.